Welcome back to the Clock's second news broadcast featuring Weatherman Steve Lanciani, anchor Sean Michael Dunphy, and anchor Ben DiZoglio. Today is March 4th, 2011, and this is what's happening in your world.
On Tuesday, March 1st, PSU's Robert Frost Speech and Debate Society held a debate for the public on the topic, should marijuana be legalized in the U.S.? The debate consisted of 4 members. On the affirmative was Penina Wallace and British exchange student Ben Mumford, and on the negative side was Michael Lee Tomaso and Jenny Fogg.
Are you sure that it has an effect on depression, and that it's not that people who are more prone to depression may find solace in cannabis?
The evidence I saw merely stated that those who smoke cannabis have a larger frequency of depression years after products.
Not only will marijuana legalization benefit the state schools and roads, it will bring in huge tax revenues, which we've never seen before. It will allow for patients who need medical marijuana to get it in more than just a select few states.
Smoked marijuana damages the brain, heart, lungs, and immune system. I don't know about the rest of you, but I appreciate all of my organs and would like to keep them intact.
The debate kept its 60-plus crowd entertained for about an hour and gave the audience a lot of perspectives to consider. The Robert Frost Speech and Debate Society is expected to host its second debate on March 30th, and there's a rumor the team will tackle the infamous Obamacare policy.
Sounds like it's going to be an interesting topic.
I'm looking forward to it.
In other news, the local Plymouth Theater, purchased by Common Man's Alex Ray and managed by the ever-so-charming Lisa Lovett, hosted its first ever film festival, aptly named Paris to Plymouth, the French Film Festival. The event ran from Friday the 25th and ended on Sunday the 28th. The festival included many contemporary French films, such as The Grocer's Son and I Loved You So Long.
It's great to see such a rich cultural experience being offered to Plymouth students.
It sure is, Ben.
And now to sports. The Plymouth State men's basketball season came to a sudden halt on Tuesday, February 22nd, when they lost to third-ranked Eastern Connecticut 59-58 in the Little East Conference tournament. The Panthers came in as the 6th seed of the tournament, and their record ultimately ended up being 11-14. Strong play from Ryan Lambert and Matt Freehan, who combined for 30 points, 10 assists, 6 steals, and 8 rebounds. With this game being the final one of the season for the Panthers, Coach Strayhorn was able to look back on the season, and especially the seniors who played their last games, as he said, "I couldn't have been more fortunate to have the group of seniors that I did. They competed all year and worked to get better. We will miss them greatly, and I can't thank them enough for all their contributions."
It's really a shame that their season had to come to an end so early.
Sure is, Sean.
And now we're going to go to Steve with your weather forecasts.
Thanks, guys. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to our second broadcast here for the Clock News. I'm Steve Lanciani, and I'm your weatherman. So let's get started. On Friday, we're looking at cold temperatures to start, right around the freezing mark. It's going to be cloudy. It's going to warm to just about the mid-20s, maybe around 25 degrees. Winds are going to be from the southeast at around 5 miles an hour. Saturday, we're looking at overcast skies all day with temps around 20 degrees in the morning. But we're looking at snow showers becoming rain showers throughout the day as temperatures warm up to around 40. Winds, again, out of the south from ranging between 5 and 10 miles an hour. Sunday, we're looking at temps steady around 40 degrees all day. I mean, really, no variance, maybe a degree or two. Possible rain showers throughout the day, overcast skies, winds south 5 miles an hour. And folks, next week, we got to watch out because there's a major storm that could be moving in. It's brewing out west right now, and it's looking like it could move in by Monday and give us some heavy precip. It's a tough call right now. It could be flooding rains, maybe even some icy conditions. We might even be looking at some major snowfall. So we're going to be eyes watching on that. Certainly going to look at updates as they come out, and as it gets closer, we'll know have a better idea of what's going to actually happen. So yeah, it's going to be messy, so keep watching. Yep, thanks again. See you guys next week, and have a great weekend. Back to you, Ben and Sean.
Thanks, Steve.
And in other news, on Monday, February 28th, the first sitting PSU student was a speaker for the Saul A. Sador Lecture Series. Student Body President Brian Funk presented his lecture, A Journey into East Africa, Youth Empowerment and Changing the World. We've brought Brian in with us this evening to share a few words about his lecture. Brian, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
So, Brian, you were the first PSU student to actually host a Sador lecture. How does that feel?
It was pretty cool, and it was overwhelmingly nerve-wracking. I was very caught up in making sure that I put together a good presentation so that, what I really wanted to do was I wanted to set up for the future to give more students an opportunity to host a Sador lecture. And so, being the first, I sort of wanted to set a precedent and live up to what a Sador lecture is supposed to be. And so, I hope that more students in the future get an opportunity to speak.
Excellent. And if you could, for the folks back at home that maybe didn't have the ability to attend the lecture, could you give us a brief synopsis about what your lecture was about?
The lecture was titled Journey into East Africa, Youth Empowerment and Changing the World. And I essentially traced the audience through about 6 or 7 different stories. Because I'm a 21-year-old college student. I don't really claim to be a professional in any field or on any topic. And so I sort of decided that I have some pretty interesting stories to share. And so I shared my experiences with humanitarian action and service work, which led me to go to Africa. And then I shared a few stories from Africa. And essentially the values that I was trying to express in the lecture was that an individual can make a difference in the world, and that we should all act on our passions and the things that we care about. And so whether you care about East Africa or sustainability or animal rights or gay marriage issues, pursue those things that you care about and try and leave an impact in the world that you live in. Leave a legacy behind you. Because the simple fact is that we have a very short 80 years here on this planet. Maybe more, maybe significantly less. So make the most of your experience.
Excellent.
Sort of that.
So Brian, for someone who has a lot of passion but doesn't feel like they can really accomplish anything, what advice would you give them?
You can become very easily overwhelmed and feel disempowered. Wow, look at this huge conflict. How can I make a difference? How can one person even do anything? And sometimes people feel the need to just kind of give up and move on to something else. And my push is to say, don't let yourself be overwhelmed. Take small steps and don't let fear get the best of you. Because I think that a lot of people sometimes live their life by fear. And my push is that I got one life to live. And I don't want to live a life that is consumed by fear or wondering whether or not I can do something. And a good example of that may be last semester we had the Flood of Flags project. And we originally proposed that we put 40,000 flags out on the green. And the majority of people that I talked to told me, no, that's not possible, that's too big of a goal, you need to try 1,000, 2,000, maybe 3,000 flags at most. And my reaction was, 3,000 flags out on that green isn't going to turn any heads. It's not going to achieve our advocacy goals and our awareness goals that we want to achieve. And so I kind of just kept pushing forward and said, no, I'm going to push through and see how I can get this done and to see how I can make this a reality. And by sort of aiming for the stars and shooting for 40,000, that got shot down. And so administration asked us try 25,000 flags, and I said, okay, I can run with that. And within a couple months, we had it. And so it takes a little bit of extra effort and it takes some hard work, but it's always, always worth it in the end.
Well, thank you, Brian, for stopping by. We really appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
That concludes our second broadcast here. Make sure you stop by the Clock office in the Hub to pick up your copy of the Clock this week, which will have more about any of the stories we've told here tonight. From everybody here at the Clock, I'm Sean Michael Dunphy, and have a great evening.
And I'm DiZoglio, and have a great weekend, Plymouth State.
I've been watching this clock on my wrist for years, wishing every tick would move fast and look clear. but sometimes